Blessings, dear ones. I'm Jacqui Simpson, and I call my practice the Healing Trinity. As you know, I've taught a lot of classes, energy healing classes, meditation classes, the Sacred Sisterhood, gathering together every Sunday, the second Sunday of the month, coming together to bring the feminine divine. I've done a lot of teaching and I've done a lot of healing, and it all kind of comes down to one point, and that is, it is my job, my mission, if you will, to bring heaven to earth. When we bring heaven to earth, what we are doing is bringing love and bringing joyousness. So today, what I'm going to concentrate on is that love and joyousness. It's not as a teacher that I'm here today. It's not as to bring a group of women together into a circle. It's not to teach you how to be a better person or to be a healer. It's not even to teach you how to connect with your spirit guides, although I will say that is the most valuable thing I have. It is instead to bring healing to you. We are going to have an online healing today. This will touch on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. This is my greatest gift to you, and I have decided to bring it to you at this particular point because there's a lot of negative running around our planet. There's a lot of anger and a lot of fear. It seems like every couple of years some new mega virus hits us. So we'll jump back and say, oh no, I'm scared, I'm scared. It's the fear that they're giving us. And it's the fear that we are to fight. And what do we fight it with? Not with arms, not with guns. We fight it with love. And so today I am giving to you love, tenderness, gratitude, vibrations of peace, so that you can feel stronger when these fears come to you. Maybe the fears that come to you are based on the physical. Again, viruses come and go. It is our immune system that stops them from hurting us. And perhaps it's the mental. Maybe you don't feel clear. Maybe you're not sure who to trust, what news or what speeches. Maybe it's the emotional. Maybe you want so badly to feel connected to other people, but you don't know how. I am not here to teach you how to do any of these. I am here today, other times I'll teach you, I am here today to help clear off whatever is stopping you from just expanding, being enlightened, feeling it, knowing it, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I always say that your spirit body can never be destroyed because it's the true essence of who you are. And I believe that to be true. You come back over and over again, you bring the same spirit body with you, you're kind of growing that beautiful spiritual crystal within you. However, I still work on healing your spiritual body because you can, unfortunately, be what we would call dispirited. It's not that the spiritual body goes away, obviously. It's not that it gets sick like the physical body might. It's not that it lacks clarity like the mental body. It's not that it's heartbroken like the emotional body. But it can get dinged around pretty hard, mainly by other people. I think that there's probably the worst thing that we can do to someone is to dispirit them, to make them feel disconnected from their spiritual self, to make them feel disconnected from Mother, Father, God, to make them feel disconnected and unsupported by the ascended masters and unaided by the angels. But again, I'm not here to point fingers and say these people did something wrong or these situations. Instead, I'm just thinking, how about today we only concentrate on the absolute positive that we know. We know that God loves us unconditionally. We know that we are living on a friendly planet in a friendly universe. And we know that for some reason, we have stumbled along, but we don't have to stumble along. And we certainly don't have to stumble along any longer, because we are creating our own future. We are looking at our now and a lot of our past. See this big closet here? That's all your past crap all in there. Maybe there's trapped emotions. Maybe there's old mental tapes. Maybe there's pain and humiliation. Whatever it is, we're going to clear out that closet. we're going to clear it out, not by going into therapy for 10 years explaining everything that went wrong in your life, but instead by calling on the angels and saying, do your job. It's amazing because so many ascended masters over and over and over and over again said to us, just ask and you shall receive. You will command angels. And we sat there going like, I don't know what to do. How am I going to be happy? Well, we're told, and now we're finally again listening. We've gone through other cycles where humanity has listened and then kind of fell away and listened and kind of fell away. Well, this time we are listening at such a high level that we are actually exploring realms of our own consciousness and interdimensional movement that we've never experienced before in the physical body. We've experienced it in our spiritual body. So let's get together, have a great time, and just clean up our stuff. But it's no work for you. Actually, it's no really work for me because it's their work. And I have been gifted lovingly, fortunately, with the ability to channel that through me to you. And that's what I'm doing today. So if you've had healings with me before, you've heard me say this, that the more relaxed you are, the more healing will come to you. Now, they're going to heal with you anyway, even if you're all uptight. But because my understanding and my short list of demands when I became a healer was you cannot physically hurt the people I am working with. So that when spirit works with you and guides us, our words and our movement, the angels are really doing the work, the hard lifting, if you will. And we are so glad that they do that for us. However, part of the rule is that they can only go to the point that it is not uncomfortable or painful for you. So the more relaxed you are, the more that can flow through you. Yep, they'll still work if you're like this, but if you're like this, then they can do more because more of it will flow out of you. Trapped emotions can be lifted out. Old mental tapes can be spooled up and sent to the light. Everything that is removed from you is sacred because everything is sacred. It is made by God. However, it's in the wrong place. If you have an emotion that was very sacred and very necessary, an example I like to use because it's happened to almost everyone I know is, let's say I was stepping off a curb and a car started coming at me. Well, I'm afraid. I have this fear, and I jump back, and my heart is beating. I'm like, oh my God, I almost got hit by that car. Well, of course, I want those emotions. I want those emotions so that I will know, step back, be careful, take care of yourself. And that's a good thing. And then maybe I'll tell somebody the story later that day, maybe the next day, and I'll start to feel it again, and I'll start to feel a little bit scared. That's the beginning of a trapped emotion. If that's where it ends, we're okay. If we only had it kind of circulating around for a day or two, then we're over it. But if I still have fear as I step off a curb a year from now, or 10 years from now, or in a new life, then we know that that's a trapped emotion. Those trapped emotions are those old mental tapes, the woulda, shoulda, couldas that have been told to us by our parents, by our teachers, by our coaches, by strangers, are all just stuff that had a purpose at the time that it no longer has. They're not trapped meaning they're trapping you. It means you and I and everyone else trapped them. Instead of letting them go and saying, whoa, that was scary. 90 seconds, the chemicals that are released in your body that give you that fear, that fight or flight, are gone. 90 seconds. So 90 seconds after that car didn't hit me, I should have been perfectly calm and walking down the street and no fear. 90 seconds. It's out of the physical body. But when we keep repeating it, when we keep telling the story, when we keep re-feeling that, whether it's the fear of a car hitting us, whether it's the anger toward a spouse, whether it's any sort of thing that came back from our childhood or our past lives, we are trapping those emotions, not knowingly, of course. We wouldn't purposely say, oh yeah, I can't wait to live in fear of a car for the rest of my life. But we are the ones trapping it. And since we trapped it, me, and you, and he, and she, and she, we are the ones that have to work toward releasing it because they can't go out on their own. That's why we gather together to say, okay, as a unit, Let's work this out. Let's release them. Let's send those trapped emotions, those old mental tapes, those past memories. Let's just send them to the light with love. Everything I do is done with love. And so out of love and out of caring, I say, let's gather it together. Let's send it to the light. The light, of course, is God or the divine or the spaceship, whatever it is to you, it's not us. Once I get it off planet, they can handle it somewhere else. But it's part of my gift to be able to take it off planet. And I ask you to work with me as best you can. Of course, some of you have been with me many, many times, and you'll just, as soon as I start with the relaxation, you'll be like, I got it, Jacqui, okay, good. And just be so relaxed and so at ease, and the angels can start doing their work right away. And some of you, this is brand new, and I understand it. When I first started studying energy healing, and when I first started working with intuition, I was very, very young. I didn't know that it was a wacky thing to do. I was so young that I don't remember a time that I wasn't able to speak to my spirit guides. So I'd say I probably came to this planet with that ability, and I cultivated it. There was a short time, unfortunately for me, when I stopped listening. And I know that when I stopped listening, bad things happened in my life. Now, it doesn't mean that if you listen to your spirit guides, only good things are going to happen, because other people also have their free will. And so other people may have hurt you or hurt me, even with the connection to spirit. But when I had the connection to spirit, I could understand the way out of a situation. When I didn't have the connection, when I said, no, I don't want to hear you anymore, please leave me alone, I have too much to handle. I was a child, and I didn't understand, how do I get out of here? And I felt like I was in the abyss. And when I started listening again, when I started speaking again, when I started communicating again, all of a sudden it just opened up. My life opened up. My health got better. My dreams of the future were truly dreams and not nightmares. And that's what I want for you. I want you to be able to say, I am clear, I am clean, I am happy. Because that's the essence of who you are. And so when I say to you, please take a moment and relax and let the angels do their work, you're not really saying, I trust Jacqui, as much as you're saying, I trust the angels, or I trust the universe, or I trust the divine, or whatever it is that works with you, because these are just names that we gave, energies that we don't quite have a total understanding of, because we're still in the physical body. So we're going to start so that you feel comfortable. We're going to start by putting you into a light meditation. You might fall asleep, that's fine. You might hear every word I say, or more likely, some words you'll hear, some words you won't hear. Any of those things are fine. Because remembering that you are not asking for something that is woo-woo, you are asking for something that is your God-given right. And the Ascended Masters kept telling us, and we kept turning the channel and turning the channel. And now our channel is being able to pull from the divine through the channel to you. The healing Trinity. It's the divine, the channel, and the receiver. We three are the Trinity. What do I pull from the divine? Love. What do I send to you? Love. I like to call it peace, because that way it's easier for you to understand. And then what are you sending back to the divine? Faith. It's such a simple system. Love, peace, faith. Love, peace, faith. And as this love, peace, faith keeps going through us and through us and through us, we are becoming healthier physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Taking a slow, deep breath. Relaxing and enjoying where you are. Sure, maybe you're in some physical pain. Maybe you turned on this video because you were crying. Maybe you feel confused. What we're doing is we're taking a step. Maybe it's a baby step for you. Maybe it's a giant leap. We won't know for another 45 minutes or so. But whatever it is, you will feel better in all of your bodies when we are finished with this than you do now. As long as you do one little thing. The one little thing is you give permission, because you have absolute free will, which means that I, the angels, the spirit guides, even Mother, Father, God has said, you have free will. If you want to accept the gifts that we have to give you, great. We're happy to send them to you. If you don't want to accept them, you don't have to either. So there will be a time, not immediately, but in a little bit, when I will ask you to give permission for your spirit guides, your angels, your divine, the universe, whatever it is that you want to call it, permission to work toward your best and highest good by working toward healing your 4 bodies. And if you want to give them permission wholeheartedly, like, yes, take me and make me whole and happy again, which is what I did when it finally came to me, that was the component that was missing in my life, then wonderful. But if you say, I'm not ready for that, I don't want that, then they respect that too. So wherever you are, they have to act out of what you have told to them, what you have given them. The permission is very, very important. And sometimes I feel like maybe that's the part that we're missing, because we were taught by some people that we're less than, that we're just human, that we're not angels, that we're kind of crap, humans, whatever. And in fact, we are the greatest development ever created by God. Now, it doesn't mean that our actions are always the best, but it means that God has held us in this high esteem, created in his or her, or more likely, their existence, because it's just energy. We can't make it male or female. It's just energy, this fabulous divine energy that is pure, pure love. We're made in the image and likeness of God. The earth is here to support us. The angels are here to support us. The ascended masters are here to guide us. We are very, very special. And the only thing that we are missing from really enjoying that specialness is that sometimes we have fear. Sometimes we get banged around. Sometimes we have a whole closet filled with past memories and old tapes and pains that we're carrying around for no good reason at all, because we are not responsible for others. We are only responsible for ourselves. So wherever you are on that grid, if you want to say to your spirit guides, yes, give me it all, I really advocate for that. But if you feel like, I'm just going to tap in a little bit, they will listen to that too. And for some of you, the vibration is easier, let's say. If you are tapping into or allowing them to tap into only the physical. You may say, oh, my shoulder really hurts. I want them to fix my shoulder. But no, don't go into my past lives. Don't go into my emotions. Don't go into my brain. Just take care of my shoulder. And they have to honor that. I, again, do not recommend that, because it's okay. Go ahead, do whatever you want to do. But I can tell you this, very often the physical pain that we feel is not caused by physical. It's not because somebody smacked you on the shoulder. It's because someone smacked you in the heart, because they're past memories that made you feel really, really responsible for others. Or maybe it's trapped emotions that told you you weren't worthy and you felt pain. It could be in your shoulder, it could be in your stomach, it could be anywhere. So again, whatever limitations you want to put on it, they have to honor it. I personally recommend you just go for it. You're talking to angels. It's not like they can do anything wrong for you or that they can do anything painful to you. And instead, you say, I give you permission to heal me for my best and highest good, or whatever words are cool for you. So, starting out, and I'm going to pause this for a moment in case you're not in this space, I invite you to be really, really comfortable. You might want to lie down. You might want to just sit in a comfy chair, something where, because the more comfortable, as I said earlier, the more comfortable the physical body is, the better that flow, the more work the angels can do. They're going to work on you anyway, as long as you give them permission. But anytime there's a glitchiness or something that feels uncomfortable, they're going to have to stop. So the more comfortable you are in the physical, it also relaxes, of course, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. You know yourself. If you're feeling pain, if you stub your toe, which is just a tiny, tiny portion of your body, you stub your toe, it affects your emotions. It certainly normally affects somebody's verbiage. So instead, get comfortable. I'm going to push pause, and I'm only going to pause it for 1 minute. But if you find that you need a little bit more time after you come back or after I come back, then just pause it for a little bit longer. What I invite you to do in the time that it's paused is get really comfortable. You might have to take your computer somewhere else, but lie down on your bed, sit on your sofa, make sure that you're not too hot or too cold. You might want to catch a quick drink of water. The more you don't want to be dehydrated. You don't want to be glowing. You don't want to be dehydrated because, again, everything flows through the body better when we have some water in us. So get a little drink of water and just get really, really comfortable. And then we will go into a light meditation, and then we'll do the healing. I'll be right back when you're right back. Welcome back. Again, if this wasn't a long enough time for you, it's very simple. Just pause it. Taking a slow, deep breath, relaxing into the space that you are in. You're lying down or sitting up. I want you to start by feeling the physical body and making sure that you're comfortable. If you need a blanket or a fan, the temperature of your body being gentle, being relaxed. I want you to feel through before we go into the actual meditation and make sure, does your back need to be supported a little bit? Would you like it better if your feet were up on a pillow? It seems like the prep work is the most important part. It's not the most important part, but very often it's the part that takes the most time and earth time. Because the more prepared we are, the more work the angels can do. The angelic part of it does not take long. It's the physical part of it, the prep work, kind of like painting a room. Taking a slow, deep breath, feeling through your body, breathing the right temperature. Do you suddenly feel like you have to go to the bathroom? Push pause and go. Do you feel supported? Are your hands where they are comfortable? Do you feel safe? Bringing everything in the physical body into alignment. I don't mean like you're standing up straight. I mean into alignment with whatever is most comfortable for you. This body worker that I know in California, Michael, and he does an amazing amount of work trying to unschool people, because what we were taught about the body being very stiff and straight is not truly what is needed. It's more what yogis teach us. Stretch, be like the animals, move. So if you yourself feel, even though you're lying there and you feel, oh, this is comfortable, but feel a little bit of a glitch here, remember we're prepping. So maybe do a little bit of a stretch, maybe right to left, even a standing up stretch. I won't do that because then the camera will just get my belly in the center instead of all of me. In yoga, we would teach people first do the physical movement before you do meditation, because it allowed your body to relax into it. Well, I'm not going to have you do a half an hour physical, but you can feel it. You can know it. Now you can relax again. Everything physically feels pretty good at this point. You might want to close your eyes just to make sure that there's no distraction from the room around you, so that you can go into your own inner wisdom, so that you can listen to your own heart and soul. And in your heart and soul, not what mind says, or what your teachers or parents or children said, what your coworkers said, but what you say in your own heart and soul. If you want your spirit guides to guide us in this healing, and if you want the angels to do the work involved, then you simply give them permission. It can be a lot of different words, whatever words feel best for you. You can simply say, I am here to be healed. Or you can say a long prayer. It's all right. But I do ask you that you say it out loud, and you say it 3 times. This is not because your angels aren't paying attention. It's because the physical body that we are walking around in has a lot of chatter going on. And until we put that chatter together into a succinct sentence, or 2 or 3 or 5, then it's just still chatter. So you put it together in a distinct sentence. Allow that to come out into the universe. And you've already changed it from unmanifested to manifested, because you have at least manifested it as a sound. And we do it 3 times because 3 is the most sacred number we have, which is why so often we refer to things as the Trinity. So whatever words are best for you, out loud, doesn't have to be really loud, it can be in a whisper, but where there's actually sound coming from you to the universe, to Mother, Father, God, to Buddha, to whoever you wish, to say, yes, I give you permission to heal me for my best and highest good. Or, yes, I am here to be healed. Or, yes, I am calling in the angels to fill my life with joy. Any of those things are permission. But I do need you to say it out loud 3 times. So again, I'll go into silence and give you that space. Beautiful. Now relax. Everything that you needed to do, you have taken care of, because once you give permission, they can swoop in and start their work. It's not a matter of it being a complicated process. It's more a matter of you giving permission and allowing that vibration of healing, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, to come from the heavens through me to you. So now you relax, even more so than you did before. Now I'll step you into a light meditation, but recognize that even while you're going into meditation, your angels are already working. I want you to imagine just your right foot. envision your right foot as being filled with love. Just love, that's all. Love in the form of in the form of peacefulness, in the form of gentleness, filled with love so it feels relaxed. Like when the babies fall asleep on your shoulder, you know that they feel your love and they trust you. So I want your right foot to feel your love and to trust you enough that it could just relax. Just relax. Gentle, loving, perhaps a little warmer than it was a moment again. Relaxation. And you know that whatever happens to the microcosm happens to the macrocosm. You know that when you relax one part of you, even if it was just the tip of your toe and not your whole foot, you simply allow that same vibration of relaxation to go through your body. So now your right foot is relaxed, and we allow that relaxation to slowly go up your calf, to your knee, gently circling your knee, up through your right thigh, up to your hip, and up to your waist. And now everything from your waist down on the right side feels a little tired, relaxed in such a good way. It may even feel or actually be a little bit longer than the left side because you've allowed it to just relax instead of holding tight. And now looking at the left side, we're going to go in the opposite direction. That relaxation on your right hip, we shoot over to your left hip. And so now the left hip can relax and allow that relaxation to go down your thighs, around your left knee, down your calf and shin, to your left foot, all the way to the tips of your toes. So now every part of you, right and left, is relaxed down both legs. Now, of course, we want to relax your housing, which is the space in between. So I want you to really envision your lower abdomen. I want you to tell it, stop being so intense. Just relax. Stop worrying. Stop holding back. Allow it to relax. Allow your bottom to relax. Allow everything from your waist down to just feel that love, that configuration of peacefulness, that feeling of being supported, protected, loved, and serenity surrounding it. So now everything from your waist down, a little bit gentler, a little bit warmer, filled with love and relaxation. And now moving that relaxation up first through the front body. So moving it up from the lower abdomen to the upper abdomen, to your heart, to your upper chest, and all the way to your shoulders. Now, when you get to the shoulders, we're going to pause there a moment. Remember that too often we feel responsible for other people and our shoulders carry a lot of pain. Instead, allow your shoulders to relax. That's great. You are not responsible for other people. You are responsible for yourself. You're responsible in a very important way to your minor children. But the rest, the people that speak to you or don't speak to you, the people that believe you or don't believe you, the people that follow you or don't follow you, you're not responsible for them. Let them take on their own pain. Let them take on their own joy. Let them be responsible for themselves. And you are responsible for relaxing and enjoying. Now we're going to go up your back. We're going to go up your back a little more slowly because you may feel some constriction here. If you feel it in the very lowest part of your back, which of course we have a lot of that going on, partly because of the way that we walk and we sit, and partly because that's where anger is held. And if you have fear in your life, you have anger in your life. And so we want to really give it that understanding of love, because love is the counterbalance to fear or anger. So send that warmth of love to your lower back. Allow it to kind of relax into the chair, into the bed or couch. Some of you I know are actually lying on your yoga mat on the floor. That's fine too. Just allow that lower back to no longer carry that anger, to no longer be concerned about that anger. That anger has one of two places. Either it's not supposed to be there anymore, it was trapped there and we're going to work on getting rid of it, or it's needed at the moment. And this is an important thing. Anger is not a bad emotion. It moves us forward to do something. The people that develop so many charities, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or the Smile Train, sorry, I couldn't remember the name of that one, Smile Train. It wasn't that they saw something that was perfect and said, oh, let's raise funds for that. Instead, they saw something that made them fearful, made them angry, made them upset. And then they worked toward treating it, treating the cleft palate, treating and encouraging, let's say, people to drive without any alcohol or drugs in their system. Anger is not a bad thing for you to have. It's that if you still have it, that's when it's a trapped emotion, and that's not a good thing. Allowing that movement to go up through your middle back, not to your shoulders, but to the back heart chakra. You have all of your chakras, well, most of your chakras have both a front and the back. Your crown chakra just goes up and your base chakra just goes down, which we call that your foundation. But the in-between chakras have both a front and a back. So you may find when I ask you to relax your upper back, which is the other side from your heart, it's really a tough one. And it may even feel like pinpricks or worse, knives going into your back a little bit. And that's because you've been betrayed. That's a fact. Most people have been betrayed. Maybe not in this lifetime, maybe in past lifetimes. But it's one of those areas that has not been paid a whole lot of attention to. And so even energy healers are usually working with the front of the heart and kind of forgetting the betrayal side. So I want you to recognize, even though you're laying on that side, it's really important that you kind of move that around a little bit and allow that to relax, because we want to be able to pull out those knives, for lack of a better term, more easily, in a way that your body will just release them and let them go. And now moving back up to the shoulders from the back. Again, release. Feel that warmth slide down as you now allow your shoulders to relax, and that relaxation can go down through your arms, off of your fingertips. Allow everything to flow through you. Everything feels relaxed and comfortable, perfect temperature for healing. Now we're moving up into your throat chakra, relaxing your throat, relaxing the back of your neck. All these areas are ones that we look and say, oh, why do I always have trouble with my throat? Or why is that such a pain in the neck? These are not things that developed out of a vacuum. They developed because we have a lot of trouble with them. We have a lot of trouble with speaking our truth. We have a lot of trouble with people hurting us, like, oh, that's a pain in the neck, because they don't want us to speak our truth. Now, when I say speak your truth, I don't mean like, don't tell me a lie. You already learned that one. Speak your truth. Tell me, tell others who you truly are, what gifts and what magic you brought to this planet. Don't keep that under wraps. Allow that to be part of you and announce it in a way that feels right to you. Now, it doesn't mean that everyone you walk into, you're going to start telling them, oh, I just realized that I'm a wizard, or I just realized that I'm an angel. Some people are not meant to hear what you say, but most of the people in your inner circle are meant to. Even if it's just planting a seed, even if you just say, oh, I realized that I had trapped emotions. I got rid of them. I feel so much better. You're just planting a seed. You're not forcing them to do something. And that's the best way to do it, because force does not work very well. Planting seeds, being loving and gentle, using your voice to bring others to their voice is very, very beneficial. Allow that to be. I recently was a co-author in a book called Voices, and I love the fact that all 11 of us women had a story to tell that basically said, this is who I am, and I bring this to you. Because all 11 had something to overcome, and they didn't just overcome it like, oh, I made it through that. You know? No, they're thriving, they're happy, they're filled with joyousness. And it was because they used their voice to be able to exclaim to others, not just a little tiny bit, but a loud proclamation of, yes, this was painful, and yes, I got rid of it, and yes, now I'm living in joy. Perfect. And isn't that what all of us want? We know that pain is part of the human cycle. We're not looking now at healing and saying, why do I have this pain? It's part of the human cycle. What we're looking at is, how do I get rid of it? And for those group of sister authors of mine and Voices, it was like, speaking it, allowing other people to know was such healing energy for them. And I want you to recognize it. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to write a book, although you might, but to use your voice as part of your own healing. Now we're allowing that relaxation to go up through your face and the back of your head. Now, since the back of your head is most likely leaning against something, that's an easier part to relax. Just allow it to indent the pillow a little bit more. The front of your face, I want you to relax things that you never thought of relaxing, like your gums and your teeth and your eye sockets, just everything. You don't have to work on what muscle do I have to do that. You just say, I'm relaxing my entire face. I'm relaxing the inner beingness of who I am. I'm relaxing everything from 18 inches above my head, where my soul star lives, all the way through my entire beingness, down my arms, down my legs, into Mother Earth, so that my root chakra feels comfortable and relaxed, even as it digs into Earth. Taking a slow, deep breath, relaxing and enjoying. The first part of your healing is calling you forward, not the angels. They're already here, calling you forward in a way that allows you to know you are a piece of the chain of life, the chain of lightness, of perfection. That is the universe itself. Therefore, you are indeed part of God. And because you're a part of the universe, because you're a part of God, when you gave permission, you're automatically connected with all of that. And in that universe and connection and permission, we are calling on the archangels. We are calling on the universe. We are calling on the vibrations of health to come to your physical body. We are calling on the vibrations of health to start with your soul star, coming down through the physical. Slowly, gently, don't rush the angels, because remember, they're working with the human. The angels are fast. Humans need some time. So allow them to start at the top and slowly go down through the physical. And what we're looking for is not a little bit better. It's not 10% better. It's not, I hope, better. It's more that absolute, I want the perfection that was told to me as part of the universe and part of God. We were not put on this earth to suffer. We were put on this earth to live in joy. Yes, pain is part of it. Pain is you stub your toe. Suffering is you allow that stub to carry you through the rest of your life. Pain is caring about someone who maybe doesn't love you back. Suffering is allowing that to have a detrimental effect on all of your other relationships. Pain's part of the human experience because we have a physical body. Suffering, you get to choose that. And I hope, really hope, that you choose to overcome the pain and not live in that suffering. Allowing the angels to come down through your entire body, slowly, carefully, bringing it to perfection. You may feel as they go down through, because some of you are further along than others. It's okay. You may feel a tightness in part of your body, maybe even a cold or a hot. Try not to get your brain involved with it, because your brain will try to figure out, well, how come my right hand's cold and the rest of me's not? It's not a thinking thing. It's a spiritual adventure. So when you feel that, whatever feels different, then I ask you to send love to it, to send a warmth to it, not heat like a heat pad, but warmth of love and peace and caring, because normally that means that there's something there that you're trying to let go of, but they're just having a tough time with it. So they're tapping on you saying, hey, Jacqui, remember you gave me permission to heal you? Well, this is not going exactly the way we wanted it to go. If I still have your permission, just send it some love, send it some warmth, and then you will feel it start to flow again. And you may literally feel things flowing through you. You may feel some sort of physical problem. Maybe it's cells that aren't functioning well. Maybe it's a kidney that has been giving you trouble for years. And as it rights itself, it has to get rid of what wasn't correct. It has to rebalance itself. So as it's rebalancing, very often you will feel a flow go through you. Maybe down your arms, maybe down your legs. This is the coolest thing. Sometimes you just feel it being lifted up out of you. All of that's good. And if you can't feel it because you're not tuned into it or because your angels are being extra cautious with you, don't worry about it. You have asked the divine for a gift. And when you ask the divine for a gift, the divine will give you a gift. Allow that gift to be part of what you embrace for yourself. Slowly down through the physical body. Now you won't hear my voice for a little bit, so that you can feel that movement of energy righting and rebalancing itself in your physical body. Beautiful. Taking another slow, deep breath. Now, as I add on the other bodies, it doesn't mean they're going to stop working on your physical. So if you feel, even though we will be working on your mental body, but you feel something weird in your foot, just know that those are the angels that are still working on your physical. And another group, let's say, of course, angels aren't really grouped like that, but we like to think of it because it's easier for us. Another group is working on your mental body. Now, part of the mental body is that there's decision making in there. Yes, there's all the woulda, shoulda, couldas that you probably know we need to get rid of. We need to get rid of people's opinion that told you when you were a child you weren't a good artist or you weren't a good person. Those are all just other human opinions. And unfortunately, particularly when you're little, you don't know that they're opinions. You are a sponge. You think like, whoa, they're giving me all this information and you're just taking it in. Now, what happens is, even as an adult, even when you recognize opinion and fact are not the same thing, and that there's some people you shouldn't listen to, because you've already absorbed so much of this mental information about who you are, what you are, that's just me, that's just not me, that you allow it, even as an adult, to have that negative effect on you. So let's say that when you were a child, someone told you that you were not a good artist. You went to school, the teacher said, oh, that's a terrible picture, whatever. And so then as an adult, every time you go out to enjoy the artistry of putting your house together, of creating a picture, of walking outside and making sand pictures on the beach. I like that one because I live in Belize and we have a lot of sand outside. Part of you reflects back to that child that absorbed the information that they were not a good artist. And so it could be anyone walking by, a total stranger walking by saying, well, why'd you do your hair that way? Why'd you make that sandcastle? That's not pretty. And even though we know intellectually this is a stranger, we should not listen to their opinion because that child within us already has the belief from childhood that you're not a good artist. That will get stuck in there and it'll reinforce it. It's like a bruise being tapped on and tapped on and tapped on. So when we work on the mental body, it's kind of simple for me to say to you, oh, yeah, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. That's a beautiful picture. It's the child within that started this conversation that we need to work with and kind of love that child into feeling, oh, I am a good girl. Oh, I am a wonderful artist. Oh, I'm not a bad person. And that's what we're going to work with your mental body. Taking a slow, deep breath, I want you to remember, not just imagine, but remember yourself as a little kid, as far back as you can go. Most people easily can remember when they started school. So you're back at 5, let's say. If you can kind of backtrack from that a little bit, 3, 2, 1, even an infant. And if you can't remember that far back, I can't remember my infancy most of the time, then at least try to remember a picture of yourself when you were a baby, because that will bring that vibration to you. And it's okay. If you're starting out as a 3-year-old, we can start with that too. I want you to hold that vision of you as a small child. I want you to be the one with the angels and with your guides that recognizes within that child, these are just opinions. Somebody else came up with this. Some silly person, even if that silly person was your mom or your dad. These are just opinions and they don't serve you beyond your childhood. So we are saying to that child, it's okay. Everything is outgrown. Everything. Just like you went from not being able to walk to being able to walk. You will go from thinking, believing that everyone has the answers to realizing that no one has the answers. So you hold that child. You may physically want to hold that child in your arms. You may want to hold that child in your brain. You go to the mind of the child and you say to the mind of the child, you are perfect just the way you are. Now, knowing that you are an adult talking to your child self is a way of connecting that. Now that you have made that connection, now we can really call in the angels and have them work not just with the thought body that has been going on for the last 20 years, but the thought body that goes all the way back to your babyhood. Because the decisions that you make now are often based on the information that came to you as a child. And we don't want that. What we want is the decisions being made based on the information you have now as an adult. So we say to the angels, go back through. Now, instead of going top to bottom, like we did with the physical, we're going from the left side to the right side, and then from the right side to the left side, so that the mental body can be completely cleared, allowing the angels to work with you as the baby, you as the child, you as the adult, and clearing the mental body. You may feel, particularly on your physical head, almost like a pulling sensation, because very often how the angels do it is, if you think of your mental body as tapes, we talk about mental tapes. So pulling those tapes and pulling those tapes and pulling those tapes, and they get them together like in a big clumpy ball, and then they pop it out of you. So it's not one thought here and one thought here. And it's out of love and respect for you, because as they're doing this, you can't see everything. So it's not like you have to remember or relive every moment. It's not like you have to remember or relive every time you were scolded or every time you were given someone's negative opinion about you. So instead, they just gather them, gather them, gather them. It looks clumpy. It's the best way I can describe it to you when I see it. It looks clumpy, and then they just pop it out. So again, I want you to feel that within you, and I'm going to allow for silence so that you can feel the angels and concentrate on them, removing anything that is negative from your mental body. Beautiful. Let them continue to work on your physical and mental. And we're going to go into your spiritual body. Yes, we're holding the emotional body for last, because it's usually the one that the human feels the most angst about working with. So we're going to go into your spiritual body. I want you to know that no one owns God. This humanity is one family, one earth, each with a different task to do. That's why we have different names for different things. We have different specialties, if you will. No one tribe gathering owns the essence of God. The understanding of this is part of the grand solution for all the challenges currently on the planet. Remember, we're talking about your spiritual body. So we're not talking about you being the one to paint and I'm being the one to chip, or you being the one to plant seeds and I'm being the one to water it. Instead, we're looking at the spirituality, and we are saying no one religion, culture, color is right. We all have different tasks to do, not only in the kitchen, if you will, but also in the spirit realm. Because I, as a healer and a teacher, do not have the magic that other people have as a wizard. That's not my task on earth. My task is bringing heaven to earth through healings and teachings. Someone else's task, if they choose to accept it, is very different. There is no competition. It isn't a matter of saying, oh, you stop that so that I can start this. Instead, we're all working together because we are all an essence of God. And as we work together as an essence of God, that's when the beauty comes. That's when the golden age comes. That's when we go back to where we were eons ago with this tight communication with the spirit guides and with God and with the angels. Now, your spiritual body comes with you time after time after time as you're going through lifetime after lifetime. It doesn't ever leave you, and it doesn't ever get depleted in the way that the physical does. Like, it doesn't feel that kind of pain or loss, but it does get what we as humans call dispirited. When you're dispirited, it's because you can't feel your connection to God. When you're dispirited, it's because you forgot, or you didn't feel it, or you didn't believe it, or any of those other things that said, yes, I am loved by God. Yes, I am a part of God. Yes, I am here to love each other and myself. That's dispirited. So we're going to look and say, just looking for a moment at your spiritual body, asking the angels to do the work to have you vibrating at a higher level, a higher spiritual level. Because when that happens, let's imagine that your spiritual body is a sphere, a ball, and it gets kind of, because you're being dispirited, people are kind of banging you around a little bit. So instead of a ball, you get kind of crunched up. It's still there. All the components are always there. You cannot lose part of your spiritual body, but it's not expressing its true essence. So when we say vibrating larger, vibrating higher, it's as if they're, and now they've taken that spirituality that is always there to its higher level so that you can communicate with your spirit guide, so you can feel comfortable with your angels and with Mother, Father, God. It's not a concept. You are manifesting a reality that already belonged to you. You're vibrating higher. Taking another slow, deep breath. Allowing that vibration, the sun's really coming through that window now, allowing that vibration to be part of you. Now we are looking at the emotional body. Your emotions take up about 80% of your energy every day. It's supposed to. Your emotional body is part of you giving to the earth grid. Now, the question is, do you want that 80% of your energy to be taken up in joy and glee and happiness? Or to be taken up in anger and fear and jealousy? That's the choice you get to make. And again, most of what we are carrying around is not today's information. It is past life information or past earlier this life information. And so what we are doing now with the emotional body is we are not making you non-emotional. I want you to be joyous. I don't want you to be angry when there's something that should piss you off. But I want you to be emotional based on what is happening in real time, not in what is happening from the past or from the future. So again, going into that space of relaxation, if you've gone out of it, taking a few slow, deep breaths. I will be using one of my many tools, my Lemurian tuning forks. And because the emotional body, well, all the bodies, respond to sounds differently. And so my spirit guides told me to bring my 4 tuning forks to be used to help kind of shake up your emotional body so that it can be more easily released. So taking a slow, deep breath, relax into where you are. Know that every emotion that we are removing with love. We are sending it to the light. We are filling it with love from us and from the divine, because those emotions were important when they first came to you. And now they're just trapped there. They're no longer important. They're no longer needed, but we send them off with love. I'm going to stop the video on me so that you can go even deeper. And maybe you've already had your eyes closed, which is a great idea. Go deeper into the self. You'll hear my voice and you'll hear my forks, tuning, making tones to help you. We're looking first at the trapped emotions that came to you that made you feel like you were not part, that you were not well grounded, that perhaps you were not welcome. Often these are trapped in your root chakra, in your lower body, in your hips, in your thighs. Not always, but most likely that is where you will feel movement, those emotions being pushed away, gifted, if you will, back to the light from where they came. You are loved, you are protected, you are safe. You are loved, you are protected, you are safe. You are loved, you are protected, you are safe. You are loved, you are protected, you are safe. You are loved. You are protected. You are safe. You are loved. You are protected. You are safe. That high pitch of fear. It is good to have fear when you need to run or you need to hide, but not fear that stays in you, not fear that makes you afraid to live your life. So we're calling on the trapped emotions of fear, pulling them out. Beautiful. The opposite of love is fear. So when you pull out that fear, you're allowing more space for love. Now we allow the angels to continue the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual work of cleansing and purifying you, of allowing you to be the pure and perfect essence from the heart of God that you have always been, and allowing you to feel it, to know it. Keep taking slow, deep breaths. Keep relaxing. Keep being part of your own healing by sending warmth and love to any areas that feel like there's a glitch. That feel too much warmth, too much cold. Slow, deep breaths. Allow it to be. Slow, deep breaths, paying attention, knowing that everything is for your best and highest good. Beautiful. Now, some of you may want to stay in this amazing space of meditation and healing, and some of you may want to come out. So I invite those of you that want to be in this meditation and healing to watch the video again, maybe right away, maybe in a little while, and just allow it to keep going deeper and deeper within you. And for those of you that are ready to come out, it's a very simple process. Gently moving your fingers and toes, gently rotating your wrist and your ankles, gently moving your body from side to side, stretching yourself a little longer and taller, keeping your eyes closed. Changing your breathing. So you're taking more breath into your brain, waking yourself up a little bit, maybe gently stretching your neck. Oh, it feels so good. And now, if you are ready, gently flutter your eyes open so that they can adjust to the light. Wonderful. I am so grateful that you are looking for healing. I am so grateful that we were together, us as humans, angels, spirit guides, gathering in this sacred circle, and we're able to find a higher level of health, of happiness, of decision making. Vibrating higher means vibrating higher in every component of your life. Of course, if you have any questions at all, feel free to send me an email. Feel free to send me messages through your dream time to my dream time, because you know that we are all interconnected. I am sending you love. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you.